Wait, you just spend 90% of your budget for a gaming PC on your GPU and RGB, right? Because of scalpers. Now you have less than 1,000 ringgit for a gaming monitor. Don't lie, we've all been there before. Okay, maybe not me because I'm a bangsawan. Never mind, today I'm reviewing the Acer EI242QRP, a 23.6-inch 165Hz refresh rate curved gaming monitor at only 729 ringgit. Could this be a perfect no-nonsense affordable gaming monitor for your favorite FPS games like Valorant and CSGO? Let's get monitoring. Disclaimer: this monitor was sent over by Acer for this review, but as usual, we do reserve our right to an unbiased opinion. So let's dive right into it. Okay, so recently we did a quick survey on our Facebook page to ask our viewers what their budget is for a gaming monitor, and quite a lot of you guys are actually looking at the 500 to 1000 ringgit range. In fact, we get quite a lot of comments asking for reviews on monitors within that range. Okay lah, today abang payung, I will use my super bangsawan eyes to help you see if this Acer EI242QRP priced at only 729 ringgit is actually worth your money. Starting with the looks, this monitor is very basic, nothing too flashy. You get a sleek all-black plastic chassis with pretty small bezels and a slightly wider chin, as well as an all-black aluminum stand with a sort of rough finish. The build quality of the monitor is also pretty nice for the price. Well, it rhymes. The chassis feels pretty rigid, and the stand, while not the largest or sturdiest, is more than capable to support the monitor with very minimal wobble. However, you need to make sure that you tighten the screws as tightly as you can while assembling the stand. Wow, rhymed again. While you need a Phillips head screwdriver to put it all together, the assembly experience is actually pretty okay, mainly because the monitor and stand are both very lightweight. In terms of ergonomics, this stand does not rotate even though it can tilt down 5 degrees and up 15 degrees. Because of that smaller screen size as well as that curvature, you are probably going to game with your face basically plastered to the screen. I recommend that you use a monitor arm attached to that VESA compatible mount behind the monitor to easily adjust it however you want. It will add about 50 to 200 ringgit extra to your budget, but you can keep the arm after you upgrade your monitor later down the road, so it's not much of a loss. Check out this arm that I found for 74 ringgit. Mantap siot! On to the most important part of this review, the specs. This is a 23.6-inch monitor with a 1080p VA panel and a maximum refresh rate of 165Hz. It comes with 3 display outputs, a display port that supports 165Hz, a HDMI 2.0 that supports 144Hz, and a HDMI 1.4 that supports 120Hz, all in 1080p. As far as response time is concerned, they state that it has a 1ms BRB, which is actually pointing to their motion blur reduction technology called Visual Response Boost. Acer states that this will help the monitor achieve a similar effect to 1ms MPRT. So playing Valorant on this monitor actually feels surprisingly smooth and responsive. No complaints here, really good for the price. This monitor also comes with AMD Radeon FreeSync, which is a pretty common feature these days that will help with screen tearing, but nonetheless it's good to have it here. One thing that really impressed me was the overall image quality. Now we all know that IPS panels have the best color accuracy as well as viewing angle, and this is not it, this is a VA panel. And it's not a screen I would maybe trust for super crucial work, but it still hit 98.9% sRGB and 84.8% Adobe RGB and 88.6% DCI-P3. So I would have no issues editing videos for social media on this. Also, considering the smaller screen size, viewing angle is actually not going to be much of a problem like it might be for an ultra-wide curved monitor that is larger. On top of that, VA panels actually have a better contrast compared to IPS panels. Acer state that it has a contrast ratio of 100 million to 1 maximum ACM, which doesn't really make a lot of sense to me, but from what I've seen so far, it's pretty good. The screen brightness, on the other hand, is a little disappointing at only 250 nits in terms of peak brightness, so you shouldn't use it in a very bright room. but that's what you compromise when you are within this budget range. Plus, it's quite easy to remedy this. Just close your blinds, dim your lights, and tada, you just saved a 1,000 ringgit. You're welcome. Lastly, this monitor comes with an audio out but no inbuilt speakers, which is where companies often save money on to reduce the cost to fit within, lower price points. It's not a deal breaker anyway, since most of us will be using headphones when we're playing FPS games. Also, the built-in speakers on even much more expensive monitors usually aren't that great anyhow, except for a few selected ones that I've reviewed before. Anyways, here are the specs for the Acer EI242QRP in case you guys are interested. Read yourself lah! Here are some bonus information for you guys, and the first one is that this monitor comes with a 48 watt external power supply, which is about the size of an average palm, not too bulky. It might be a little harder to cable manage, but that's one of the sacrifices you make at this price point to keep the weight of the monitor down, and hence you don't need such a heavy duty stand as well. While having an internal power supply and straight up 3-pin power cable is easier to deal with, it does add to the weight and as well as the production cost and also like shipping and all that stuff. We understand what Acer is doing here. Bonus info number 2 is while we were gaming in Valorant on this monitor at the highest settings, which is 165Hz refresh rate, we saw a peak power draw of 26 watts. To recap, here are the pros, mess and cons of the Acer EI242QRP. I give this Acer EI242QRP monitor a very good bang for your buck. 165Hz that won't hurt your wallet. Hashtag cheap buy, 8.5 out of 10. At only 729 ringgit for a 165Hz gaming monitor, you are only sacrificing 3 things. Screen brightness, which can be solved by dimming your lights and closing your blinds. Number 2, ergonomics, which you can solve with a 74 ringgit monitor arm here. And finally, no speakers, which is not really an issue for most gamers who have friends and are using Discord, because you'll use your headphones ma. And also, monitor speakers so geng meh, you can hear the footsteps everywhere. Of course, you cannot buy headphones lah. And that is everything I have to say about the Acer EI242QRP. If you guys have any questions, leave a comment down below and I'll try my best to reply to you one by one, because I'm very nice like that. If you thought this video was helpful, don't forget to like and share lah. And subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit that notification bell to see more content like this. And don't forget to like us on Facebook, Instagram and TikTok to see more shenanigans from the Mob House crew. Again, Limpe's name is Shane Tan, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!